Okay. Never would have made it. Never would have made it without you. I would have lost it all.
He doesn't know the lyrics.
It's that. Do you know what it is? It's because I always get caught up with End of the Road. Because it's the same type
it's
of...
not the same song.
Anyway, I was going to do a medley. So after I sang that, it's now... Do you know what today is? It's our anniversary. Do
Do you know what I keep thinking now? Every time I think anniversary.
What?
Heartbreak anniversary.
Oh, fam. That nigga Give You On songs are so sad. Oh my gosh.
Remember every...
Fam, a man said... Balloons are deflated.
I guess they look lifeless like me.
Oh, what the hell, bro? Like, relax. Why do you have to look lifeless? Like,
Not like you.
Mm.
Oh, my days. So, guys, if you're following us on socials, you'll absolutely know why there's all this anniversary talk. Why is there all this anniversary talk, Denzel?
Because we've been doing this for a year.
A whole 365 days, even plus.
Yeah.
Because now's a couple days on from our official anniversary. Mad, innit?
Yeah, we wanted to record on the day, but you know.
Things happen. Plans change. People change.
Niggas
you know?
be booked and busy as well. So it's like...
I just moved my mic. I'm so sorry. Yeah.
Like, well, what can we really do?
It really be like that.
But we in here.
Turn up.
Where the bitches? Where is that guy?
I don't know.
I saw him somewhere, you know. That
Isn't
nigga
he
that
the-
everyone... Reggie Coons. Yeah.
I don't want to go. Please,
said he
mama,
looks
don't
like
let
me.
me go.
Oh, I look like him.
What?
Niggas,
People say you look like him.
Yeah, I look
I
like
see
Reggie
it. I see it.
Oh, now he hasn't been able to grow a beard. So, that's none of my business. But what? Damn. The thing is, yeah, what I had envisioned for us doing for our anniversary, because it's my birthday's, it'll be my birthday by the time this is out. But my birthday is coming up.
Really?
And
No, it won't.
my birthday's on Saturday.
Yeah, this gonna be out by then.
That's what I just said.
This will be out before then.
I said, did I?
You said it'll be my... Anyway.
God damn it. It'll be my... I'm 22, baby. I'm turning 22.
He's finally freeing up the age.
I freed up the age before. Don't do that. I just don't say it that much. 'Cause, you know,
I just don't be saying it like
I
that.
gotta keep my options open.
Oh, shut
But
up.
nah, because in my head for our anniversary, my birthday, I wanted to do I was thinking, you know, like this big party,
Theatrics.
Yeah, hella theatrics, like birthday / TwinPodcast, anniversary, and then you know,
Corona
came knocking, said not on my watch,
Not on my watch.
And even now, even after lockdown rules have been relinquished, they're back in effect.
Yeah. Hard times are still hoovering over us.
Looming.
Literally.
It's just that raw.
Yeah, so Boris announced curfew.
Mm.
How mad is that? We were just chatting about it with Dan. That's mad. Like, do you think that because it's 10 o'clock, Corona's going to be like, you know that meme of the girl walking in like this?
Who's knocking in my window?
Like,
If you haven't watched Stop the Yard, that's what that's from.
Fam, deep it. So now pubs and bars and restaurants are going to be closing at 10 p.m.
Mm.
Do you know what that means? If you work late, you can't eat. That's what it means. Because that's what I'm hearing.
Stop for this coronavirus.
There's rats at home.
There
better be.
Because unless you work in a restaurant, a pub, or what was the other place? Like
A bar.
Bars. Yeah. Then you're pissed.
Like, realistically.
You're pissed. You're going to starve.
And do you know what it is? I've been thinking like,
sorry, go on.
because my birthday is not for a couple of months, right? But I was thinking, like I could potentially do a small this thing. So now what? Like, you can't even do a late dinner.
You only got 6 friends, my nigga.
My thing is, even with 6 friends, I was never doing a dinner that was going to be done at 10.
Who even does a dinner with 6
I wasn't
people?
going to do a dinner with my friends anyway.
Unless
I was
them
going to
girls that
go
got the
to
shortage.
dinner. I wasn't going to have a birthday dinner. I'm sorry. I'm actually very grown for that. But I was going to go to dinner at some point. Well, you know my bae. Do you get what I'm saying?
Mm.
But what? So if I'm going to dinner, it's going to be, I have to be out of there at 9:59. Latest. Like, do you get what I'm saying? That doesn't make sense for me. On a normal day, when I go out to eat for dinner, earliest link time is like 7:30. Earliest.
So you said because you're too grown for the birthday dinner thing. Do you care to say how old you're gonna be?
Yeah, I'm
10?
gonna be 25, y'all.
See, and this is why you're a fake bitch. Because
What?
because when I say this to you in the crib, you're just like, don't say that.
No, because you say it like it's a bad thing. I'm not gonna be 25
Whoa.
plus. Gang. I'm gonna be 25 years old. Difference.
25 plus is still kind of. It's just not your lot aren't gonna be the 25 plus.
Them man
people
are like
get onto
30 now.
Twitter about. Yeah, because they'll be. Do you know what I mean?
But they're still over the age of 25. I'm gonna start calling them 30 plus gang because I can't be feeling like I'm part of the same bracket with people who wear floral shirts, and you know them man, they love a floral shirt and a shiny trouser to an event. I'm sorry, that ain't me. That ain't me. That ain't
No,
me.
no rocking with the floral. Nah, fair enough.
Right.
Fair enough. I can't come and kill myself over that.
Apologies for my voice, guys. But you know what? We should introduce ourselves. We think because it's been a year, you lot should know. But it's your girl Lex.
It's your boy Dens.
And you're locked into
TwinPodcast. Yes. Anniversary. But because our anniversary is here, like end of the podcast, I was looking at we're quite like plugged into the podcast landscape anyway.
Yeah.
But of late or in recent times, fam,
people have been talking the things.
people have been talking about about the things like the business part of podcasting, which like it is very like much a part of doing it, but at the same time you can like not think about it and just do your thing in it. Like it depends on kind of like what you want out of podcasting. What we want, I'll never tell. But in terms of like where we are now, we own everything. Like if we do make any like money from the podcast, it'd be like something that we own. Or if this goes anywhere, if we have merch, it's all ours. Which someone who's not in our position, or they are in our position but at a much larger scale, is Joe Budden. So he spat a lot of waves in terms of like I'm getting hot figured about it. Nigga sweating. But yeah, he sparked a lot of waves in terms of like the landscape of podcasting and market share and where all of like the P's from podcasting and stuff goes, which was interesting because somebody who was countering, just a brief overview of what he was talking about is Joe Budden had a deal with Spotify that was exclusive for the audio of his podcast. The deal was for 2 years. They've now finished like the obligations of that contract, and there was talks of renegotiation with Spotify. But what Joe values the podcast as is clear Spotify don't, or if they do, they don't value Joe or his compadres as
not the compadres.
Yeah, compadres as equal enough to negotiate within like reasonable terms, because he said that he's made Spotify 9 figures, which
is a lot of money.
Which if you're like if you're at if you're at any position of any business, I guess 9 figures is a lot. It's a lot. So especially just looking up at that, I'm just like, whoa, yeah. 9 figures from this. But yeah. Like, so what he's basically saying, whatever they offered him, it doesn't equate to how much he's done for them in the span of just 2 years alone. Mm-hmm. So one person that was kind of countering that, not really counter it, but counter at the same time, was Charlemagne.
Yeah.
So Charlemagne was, I was going
to say that.
Yeah, so Charlemagne basically said, or he was insinuating, which I hate when people do that. Like, don't halfway say something. Say how you feel.
If you're gonna at me,
if you're gonna at me, better at me, bitch. Like, you have to say it with your chest, short ass nigga. But yeah. So Charlemagne would basically say, maybe Joe just doesn't know how to negotiate good deals. Or if you're constantly making bad deals, or you're constantly having these problems with people, maybe they're not the problem, you are. And he said, well, Joe's response to that in a nutshell was, if I keep going on bridges, or I keep burning bridges, there was oppression on the bridge. Like, I'm telling you, there's oppression on this bridge. I'm not going to walk on this bridge. And now you lot can know why I'm not going to walk here.
Mm-hmm.
But when he was talking about all of that, he mentioned, go back to the Dame Dash interview. If you don't remember, the Breakfast Club did an interview with Dame Dash like 5 years ago. And then that's when Dame Dash was saying all this stuff about Chatty Patty and calling Charlamagne and Chatty Patty. And he said that he's never had a boss. And all of that just made me think like, like not having a boss, but if you are in a position where, I guess this is more so from a creative standpoint because we're both creatives.
Mm-hmm.
But when you don't have a boss or having a boss within a creative field, it's kind of like somebody's always supervising you.
Yeah, technically, because they tell you what you can and can't do within a certain, do you know what I mean? Within certain parameters.
Yeah.
And equally, you don't get paid if they don't exist. Do you get what I'm saying? So in Joe Budden's case, where he's saying that what Spotify are offering isn't good enough for him, basically, in a nutshell, he's basically saying what I'm bringing is not a fair deal. Now, if I think of that and I think about ways we can apply it to our own personal lives, like Den's mentioned earlier, when we were having a personal chat, there's been times when I've been sending emails, like since I started doing YouTube and posting on my Instagram more frequently, there's been times when I've been sending emails and it's like, hey, Lexus, would really love to collaborate with you. Want to send you this in exchange for 2 videos, 2 Insta posts and 1 story post. And I'm like, okay, where's the money? And they're like, oh no, the collaboration will be in exchange for the gifting of the product. I didn't ask you for the product. You want me to advertise your product on my page. I post pictures I want to post. Paid or unpaid, I'm posting photos I want to post. So you can't send me something and then say, oh, now because I'm sending it to you, you're now contractually obliged, if you agree, to post this, and this. Doesn't sound like a fair deal.
It's basically saying, you see that thing that you do already. Let me just can you promote some stuff for me, and I'll just give you the stuff that I want you to promote.
And it's like, I'm not.
Nah, doggy.
There's no gain.
That's not how it's working.
And I'm not saying that there's no use in gifting of any sort. I think that gifting works if I want the products. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I buy from Zara. I hope you people are listening. I buy from Zara. They know that. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, the hauls are being posted regardless, whether I've bought the items or somebody else has bought the items. If the items were gifted to me or affiliate links were made available to me so I can make coin or not spend money on the items, that's something that could interest me, because no, you're not paying me, but it's something I would do. You're not making me do something I wouldn't do and then telling me I have to do it. Oh, here you go. I'm just going to give you this KA. You have to drink it, by the way, even though fruit punch isn't your favorite flavor. And I've never seen you drink KA before.
I've never seen KA on your page. I've
never seen you drink KA before, but you need to post it and you need to do X, Y, Z different things while you're posting it. And I think that do you know what I mean? To draw a similarity, that's what Joe is saying he doesn't want to do. This podcast exists without Spotify. It can exist without Spotify.
Exactly.
So why should he cut a deal that he doesn't feel like is balanced for what he's bringing to the table? He's not saying, I don't want to work with you lot, period. Exactly. He's saying, I don't want to work with you lot if you don't want to pay me what I think I'm worth.
And even in terms of like pay, like that's part of the complex situations of having a boss. And that's why when within his negotiations, what he was saying was they keep offering money. And it's kind of like, I'll say this to you as well, especially with them type of deals people do with like YouTubers or influencers. They'll do so and so for this much, and it's kind of like, even regardless, like even if you look at like music, everybody who is in music that gets bumped, they're always just like 360 deals. Fam, it's like you pay these people P's, or they'll give you like
a lump sum.
They'll give you a lump sum amount of money. Let's say it's $1 million. The mill is, they're paying you that for your project, and it's supposed to recoup, or for however long you want to do it. So let's say you sign for 4 years or for 4 albums for $1 million, and your first album, this is really ridiculous like amount, but your first album makes makes 700 grand, yeah. That's off your first project. That's how much you've made. Let's say that's your first week, yeah. Now, that's actually crazy. That's ridiculous. But let's say that's
but it can happen. It can happen. And then there's obviously little additional things like when you're touring, like merch.
Look, even
streams.
that aside, you've made 700 bags back, yeah, within that first, so let's say for that first project. Your next project now, you make the same or more. Let's say you make 800 K. Now how much is that? What
15.
15.
What did I just calculate?
Fam, nigga, I don't know. 1.5. Yeah. Sorry, yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah. Fam, I was lost with you. So let's say you make 1.5 mil back. Or that's off 2 projects. You now have 2 projects after that. Where is that money going? The label keeps that piece and they're just like, no, we've paid you. We've paid you for this. You can make your money off of touring and merch and revenue. But all of this piece you made from this project, we're keeping that because we paid you for those 4 years for that 1 mil. You've already made that back in 2 years in 2 projects out of the 4.
Yep.
So that's how people can get bumped, or at least that's how I understand it from my knowledge. But what he's saying is, okay, all of you keep offering me this money. I don't want money. I want a position in this infrastructure of what's being built as the podcasting landscape. Because look at what I've done with my podcast. Now, if you guys involved me in decisions across all podcasting, look at how resourceful it could be for you, but at the same time, not even for you, for all these other creators. So now it is more fair. Because he was saying when you get to them certain places, everybody has money. So nobody really negotiates with money anymore. Because you have bread, I have bread. What is that? That's like when you go out to eat with your friends. And all of you are on like a similar pay or whatever. Yeah,
you split the bill, bro.
Do you get what I mean?
To do,
fam, you can split the bill. Do you get what I mean? You can split the bill, or somebody can be like, "Oh, fam, I'll pay this."
You can play card roulette
because nobody
have money.
Fam, yeah, you can play card roulette, nigga. I can't play card roulette. You better pay for the mimosas, nigga. You better pay for that. But when you're at that level, them type of stuff don't matter. So now I want a position, which that's what made me look back to the Dame Dash thing. Because when he was chatting with DJ Envy, you know, like, again, to relate it to the dinner thing, yeah? If I go out to dinner and let's say there's 6 of us and 5 of us are on good peas, like good peas, whatever good peas is to you is relative, innit? But one person isn't. When we're like, fam, let's bring the bottles, we're going to split the bill, you're going to feel uncomfortable because... Or you're going to be like, fam, you lot are like...
You lot are balling out. You lot
are doing too much. Like,
well, you lot had steak. I literally just had fries, man.
Do you know what I mean?
Somebody ordered from the small bite section.
Fam, have you ever gone out with niggas where you don't have... Have you ever gone out with niggas where you don't have that much money on you? And it's like...
I tend not to do that.
In my younger days, I've definitely done that. But them man were older than me, innit?
Oh,
so
fair.
It's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Do you get what I mean? So it's like, even whatever good is for me, these men have peas already. It's just like... I've ordered what I've ordered. I've ordered the cheap thing just to be comfortable. Okay, let's split the bill. Huh? What? I brought enough money
for me.
I didn't bring enough money for y'all. I might have had to text one of you niggas on the slide, like, send me a $5 like this.
My days.
Like, it's tight. But you're gonna feel uncomfortable in that position. So when Dame Dash was chatting to them lot, DJ, and he was saying to DJ Envy, fam, like, with whatever you have here at the Breakfast Club, you can't keep that and give that on to your kids. Like, you can't, if you wanted to work here now, could you get him a job? He said no. He's like, okay, cool. When you're finished, like, is any of the shares of this going to your kids? No. So it's like, okay, so you're not a boss. You have a boss. You have to work here. I don't have to do that. And DJ Envy was offended and was like, oh, no, but I don't have to do this. I don't have to come in. Yes, you do.
Which is a free will situation.
But it's like, to an extent, yes, you do, because this is your job. Like,
yeah, but you can quit your job.
That's what he's saying. But the
quitting your job is
yeah.
meaning that that particular stream of income is done out. So he is right in that sense.
So that's what he was trying to say. So, but DJ
you
Envy
can't just
and
not
Charlamagne,
turn up and still get paid. That's the difference between when you own your thing and when you
don't. That's kind of what Joe was arguing. That's kind of what Dame's arguing. That's kind of what Kanye's arguing as well. Even though Kanye does so much over the top stuff, what he's actually saying makes so much sense. But then he just starts pissing
much all the time.
No, I mean now. What he's saying now makes sense. Like what he's saying about everybody be free and but he said
like
their market.
Kanye gives you information in a shit sandwich.
Yeah.
And it's like, have you ever had a meat pie that had barely any meat in it. The
But
meat in it was good, but there was bare pastry.
Some of you aunties are wow.
Do you get what I'm saying? That's how Kanye gives you information. The nonsense is all the pastry, and then you got a tiny sprinkle of meat on the inside.
You know what? Yeah.
And that's where the truth is. And it's like when you package in all this other crap, I might not get to the meat, and that's your fault, auntie.
But I thought. It's so crazy. I was gonna say something wild, but I deeped. This is being filmed. It's gonna be harder to edit, so I'm not gonna say it. Look at me growing. Look at me growing.
But yeah, you still said you were going to say something wild out loud in the episode.
I just need niggas to think about what I'm gonna be saying. But like with that, I feel like a lot of the time with what these men do, is the shit parts that come to your attention the most.
Yeah,
so
but
even in Kanye's whole rant, he made bare points. He literally put his whole contract on the internet.
Yeah, which is mad.
And then he pissed on the Grammy. But that's what people are gonna see.
Yeah, because that's the theatrical part. If you put the dramatic part out there with the serious, we're listening to the drama.
I hear you in it.
Do you get what I'm saying? Because he knew what he was doing when he pissed on the Grammy.
Yeah.
Granted, it reflected his state of mind.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely fine and fair.
So pick the world up and I'm
jumping on your fucking head. Like, I get it. But you did that now, and now that's what we see. So, do you know what I mean?
But with all of that being said, they make sense with stuff in it. But from Envy's position when he was offended, and from Charlamagne's position when they were defending it, it's like, it made me think, are we too complicit? Especially, I say more so from a creative or ownership standpoint. Are we too complicit in working for somebody else, or having a boss, or do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Or not completely owning our thing.
I think that people forget that ownership is a privilege, and I think that that's one thing that tends to be left out of the conversation, or if it's brought up, people see it as an excuse. But ownership is a privilege. You have to put money in to make money. You have to have money to put money in to subsequently make money. You have to get to a point where, yeah, cool, I own this. But once you own something, you need to now employ people. Now you're the boss. Now people are working for you. Now they can't own their thing because they're working for you, who owns your thing. You don't have to show up at work, but your assistant does. You don't have to show up at work, but your employees do. Do you know what I'm saying? You can say, I'm not going to work again, but the people will have to continue working in the background to make your money. So it's one or the other. Who do you want to be? The person who's being bullied or the person doing the bullying kind of thing? It doesn't always have to be that negative. Yeah. There's a such thing as being a nice boss. I do believe that exists. And there even was that guy who, relinquished his riches to give everyone a fair wage. And those people exist on the planet, and you can choose to be that person as well. But most of the time, before you get to being that person, you have several realizations, and you usually have made enough money for that to make sense to you, for you to say, I'm going to pay myself less.
Yeah.
Naturally, when you've believed in something and you've put the hard work in, let's say you've been losing money, put in hard work into your business. That's why people always say when their business blows, don't know where I've been down, I've been out. And it's because they've lost money, they've cried, they've been sweating, and they've worked hard to get to the point where they don't have to work hard anymore. And now someone else has to do it. It's a bit sticky. I do think ownership is important, and I think where you can, absolutely endeavor to own what you are putting your time into, because nothing is going to feel better than knowing that, okay, I'm doing all of this and I can say I'm getting the revenue, I'm getting paid for my hard work. Yeah. But equally, it's a privilege because you have to have more rather than less before you get to that point. And I don't think that is easy. A lot of people's route to success has been through a company or a brand or a higher, I don't want to say power because I don't mean power, but I get what you someone
mean. High infrastructure.
Believing in them, but then also capitalism. So
and that's what a whole lot of what Dame was saying is, I don't want to keep lingering on what he said in it, but if we break it down to that's the only examples that we see. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of it being from people, like from big organizations that are supporting something. So let's say now if a No Signal, if instead of them asking people from the community that they're sourcing what they do to, like the black community, when they were asking people for donations and stuff like that to help fund the studio.
When they were crowdfunding.
That's the word I was looking for. See,
Yeah.
you're smart.
Man said
You know,
asking people for donations. They were asking people for
donations.
Bloody hell.
But
they were crowdfunding.
yeah, crowdfunding.
Yeah.
Sorry if that came off crazy, but yeah, they were crowdfunding.
Yeah.
In contrast to, let's say, them taking their talent, or letting, like, let's say a BBC be like, oh yeah, we want to have like No Signal as a part of our programming. Do you get what I mean? That's what it is kind of like, or an ASOS being like, I want you to be the face of something, which to an extent that's mad, innit? Like that deserves as much credit and
accolades.
Yeah, accolades as it should
In
get.
full, bruv.
But same time, what would be even crazier is if somebody had a brand and it's at the same level as ASOS.
Yeah.
And do you get what I mean?
Yeah, because that's why I didn't respect a lot of the backlash that No Signal got for wanting to have our own thing. If you like think about it, right? Black radio, as we know it, literally ceased to exist at a point because why? The TJs got taken off, the presenters got taken off the stations that they were on. Choice FM does not exist anymore. Do you know what I'm saying? It became Capital. And under Capital, it's not
the same.
It's not really the same. It really is not the same. There's an urban section. Do you know what I'm saying?
Even though that people are like, I respect the people that are in those sports.
100%. Like people have to occupy the positions, and nobody's mad at those people. But again, it's the same as operating under capitalism. Every single one of us that gets up and goes to work, we're operating under the structure that exists, the powers that be that have made it that way, right? But to say, do you know what? We're doing this thing. We've been providing this service. It's been free. We want to pay the people who are doing this work. How many of you want to work and not get paid?
Bro,
like it's work. It's time. During a global pandemic, these men were providing us with endless entertainment. And I say endless from here, from the bottom of my heart, because the entertainment was so endless. So to say, like we actually want the multiple people in the team, to be paid, like to get something for what they're doing aside from tweets. Like I'm a tweet every day if I like how sick No Signal are, but I'm going to donate if they're crowdfunding because I believe in their thing. Do you get what I'm saying? And I feel like I'm paying for other services, and you man too are paying for other services that don't serve the community. People would run for Disney Plus and are still paying. We forget about some of the subscriptions that we have because we think, oh yeah, but this is just like everybody watches this. And then you go on it, then you see that they're posting and publishing things that in essence don't like you. We all jumped on TikTok and then realized that TikTok was allowing racism to fly. But people didn't care.
Is a crazy place.
Yo, it's a very nuts place. I'm not on there.
Yeah, I'm not on TikTok either. I know if I got into TikTok, I'd like be obsessed with TikTok.
People did get obsessed because it was so funny, but there's negative things happening everywhere. But when you know at least like the people who are providing what it is that you're consuming are kind of on the same page as you, and it's evident in what they've done, what they do, what they continue to do and provide. Support them. Like, let us own things. Us too, we should own things. But shout out to all the like black owned businesses that have been flourishing, especially like, you know, with Loud Brand Studios and sometimes, cool, it's going to be an influencer that's going to wear your thing. And that is not a bad thing. So we're not saying because you're going to own something, it means that, you know, you have to be grinding. You model your own clothes. Don't send it to nobody.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. Especially
all.
There's different levels to doing stuff. Like, again, with what you said, it takes time to get to the position where you can have the privilege of owning things. But at the same time, we're kind of, even to counter that, I feel like sometimes people think of it as too much of a privilege. So we don't, especially in terms of like negotiating things or like, like negotiating things. Like in, again, Joe's thing. If Joe was like, for me to own whatever, this is a bit of a mad thing. I'll kind of settle here. Or in the example that Joe gave of Charlemagne's, what Charlemagne tried to do. Charlemagne has worked at the Breakfast Club for like, pardon me, 10 or 11 years now. and he was gonna leave. There was a part where they were saying that he was gonna leave, whatever. And according to Joe, which was him kind of moving mad, he was being petty in this part, but it was like he he went to different places, and they were telling, and then the different places that Charlemagne went to, they were saying no, 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 no. Then he went back to the Breakfast Club, and now he's at the Breakfast Club, and Joe was saying, you've been here for 10 years, making these people thus amount of money from you because it's your personality that they're brought into.
People here, yeah.
If you hadn't or felt like, I can't really do this by myself, or I can't do this here, or I'm not willing to front the P's that for what I believe this could be like, then, okay, let me keep building here and then go. In that, you're kind of being complicit in staying in your position, because you're kind of like, I'm not ready to own this yet. But a lot of people, especially like with what you're saying, you have to pay people to work under you and stuff like that. If I'm so focused on, I want to own this, I'm like, cool, this can't fail because I have to pay people. There's no there's no like thing to fall back on. I feel like that kind of can push you into another gear of making your thing blow. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like how many people's success stories come from them being home, or like even sports and athletes, or all of these other things come from people coming from the most dire of situations, because there's no plan B. There's nothing for me to fall back on.
From the bottom,
I can only go up. And because I've been there, I'm not trying to go back there.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I see a lot of people going on. So I say it's a privilege, but at the same time, I say let's not get too caught up in it being a privilege.
No, of course, but that's a way to understand how and why everybody's not, because like I think that we're in the situation where people say like, oh, just do this, without thinking about the fact that there are legitimate socio-economic factors that are in place to stop you from doing those things. Doesn't mean that you can't be the person to pass those, but they do exist. Like roadblocks, barriers, all of those things are in existence. Now, I'm not a glass half empty type of person, so I believe I believe that if you want to do it, just try. Yeah. But equally, like, I would never, based on just what I study, what I know, I would never say, yeah, but everyone, we're all in the same boat, because we're not all in the same boat. We might all be on the same sea, but we are for sure.
The water's over here a little rockier than it is in your part of the ocean.
The tide is a bit high. The tide is a bit high on some sides. The current is shaking. Do you know what I'm saying? Some people's boats have holes, like, and that's the truth of it. Like, so it's patchwork for some people before they can even start paddling, and I think that's what has kept a lot of people in the positions that they're in, even though they're really sick at what they do, because they don't know how much sicker they could be. Also, though, one thing I will say about podcasting is I think it's new. Like, based on the hosting site that we use, they send like newsletters all the time, and I read them. They come to my emails, and they talk about how new podcasting is, how very few, even though it seems like everyone has one, how very few podcasts actually exist on the planet. And it's a new space. And like Joe said, they were building their contract together, him and Spotify, because it's a new thing. But obviously, being a business, you have to be an opportunist. You see an opportunity, you have to be like, actually, people are listening to this guy's thing, looking at the plays, the streams. Oh, we know he's a somebody. How are we going to do this? And it's not unintelligent of them to want to make money like that. But equally, it's a good, I don't want to say, oh, everybody go and start a podcast now. But it's not a bad time to start a podcast if you want to start one, because it's in its earlier days. Obviously, you can start one in 20 years from now, which is absolutely fine. If you've got good content, you've got good content. But one thing you shouldn't feel is that it's oversaturated, because it's not. Even YouTube, where people say it's oversaturated.
Do you know how many people there are, like, in the world?
On this planet,
do you know how many people like different stuff?
You know, some of the stuff that is on YouTube is just mind-blowing.
Damn, there's people like, you know, there's videos of people like, everyone will probably know this, but if you don't, there's videos of people like just crushing stuff. Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it's mad fascinating and interesting to watch.
Like, I watch people do gardening on YouTube. I've watched people tune their guitars. I don't even play guitar.
Bro, never played the guitar in my life. Well, we have, but not very well.
Not well.
at
But
all.
people have whole channels and they're getting views.
Yeah.
Like, they're getting views tuning their guitars. So I would never sit here and say, yeah, like, don't start that because everybody's doing that, especially not with podcasting. You might think everybody's doing it, but trust me, there's room in it. And if you want to own your thing, do it.
Do you know what's crazy? Wow, what I should have put for us to talk about.
What?
But you haven't watched it, The Social Dilemma.
No, I haven't watched it, so no, we're not.
That would have been so good for it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We can talk about this in the next